Hello, and welcome to another Win Daily Sports Show. My name is Michael Brazil. I got my man Ghost here with me, and we are breaking down this wonderful, this beautiful, this fantastic Friday evening slate. We got a big one ahead of us. It should be a fun one. We got some injury news, which is a little, no, we're not happy about injuries, but you know how it helps things sometimes. Let's be honest, Ghost man. So we are Win Daily Sports. I am Michael Brazil. That is my man Ghost. Please, if you have not already, smash that like button. Did you like that one, Gus? I threw a little finger wag in there.
Nice. That was a very Fajita Friday edition to it. I love it.
Bang. Taco Tuesdays, Fajita Fridays. We got it all. More Mexican food, the better. I actually had tacos last night. But anyway, we are here to break the slate down. We're going to be covering some bets. We're going to be covering some DFS plays. It's going to be a little bit shorter than usual. Ghost actually, wants to work with everybody and be in Discord and not just be on here with me the whole night. I mean, I wish he was, but we get it. It is what it is. So if you haven't already, make sure to follow us at Win Daily Sports. Make sure to follow him at DFS_Ghost. Make sure to follow me at Michael Brazil1. We're going to be with you here for about the next half hour. So ask us all the questions. It's literally our favorite part, and we will be breaking it down game by game. So let's start with it. I think the one place we kind of got to start. No, I guess that's a 7:40 game. So we'll go over some of the early games first. We have the Magic. We have the Pacers. Pacers are now favored by 5. I'm using PointsBet for our odds. If you're in New Jersey, if you're in Michigan, if you're in a couple other states, make sure to use promo code WINDAILY. We get a bunch of money. You get a bunch of money. Everybody's happy. It doesn't get any better than that. Pacers are favored by 5 over here. I actually got them at -4.5 or -4 if I'm not mistaken. So I'm glad I hopped on it early. The Magic just had a tragic win over the Timberwolves, which was hilarious, but I had the Timberwolves +4.5. Doesn't matter. Ghostman, what are you thinking about this slate? This game?
This game's going to be really slow. So it's one that I'm crossing off my list. You want to place a bonus on any slate? I'll never say no. Malcolm Brogdon's in a good spot with no Markelle Fultz there. He's gonna troll Cole Anthony all night long. Outside of that, Vooch's price has gotten up to him. So I'm out on tonight, but this game's a big time fade for me.
I love it. A couple people in the chat, Fajita Friday already. Brian, yes, know sir. What it is. What's good? Everything's good, man. It's a freaking Friday. Let's do it. I can't wait. We got NFL conference championships this weekend. Smart or done? Let's just get this one out of the way quick.
Neither.
That was easy. And Brian, appreciate it. Yeah. I'm honestly surprised it took you this long. I have specifically and purposely worn a flannel on this show for the last 3 weeks straight. So I'm glad you figured it out, but we are here for it. And we are here for it. All right, let's move on. Bulls, Hornets. Hornets favored by 3.5 points. I got them at 2.5. So I'm really liking so far some of these bets. This is pretty nice. Hornets by 2.5 at home against the Bulls. Bulls, just saw in the chat actually, are 8-1 in their last 9 road games, I think, as underdogs, which is pretty sweet. So you like to see that. Bulls play fast. Hornets are bad. How do you feel about this one?
Zach LaVine's in a great spot in this one. You just mentioned and nailed it right on the head there. Fast-paced Hornets team now with LaMelo Ball running point for the majority of the game, and even Terry Rozier and Devontae Graham. They're still on a middle of the pack to up pace backcourt there. So this is a great spot for Zach LaVine, and Charlotte's been decimated by primary ball handlers all season long. So I'm not playing Kobe White, but I will have some shares of Zach LaVine. Very pricey, but again, it keeps his ownership down in GPPs. So when we're talking about guys that can be in that winning lineup that are 5, 6, 7% owned, Zach LaVine can be that stud tonight. And then one of 2 value plays of the night, and Daniel Gafford finds himself in this game too, sitting at a mere $3,100, just $100 over minimum price, filling in for Wendell Carter Jr. I say it time in and time again. We attack the Charlotte Hornets front court as much as possible. Cody Zeller, Bismack Biyombo, PJ Washington, one of my favorite individual defenders to attack from an NBA DFS standpoint. Him most likely getting the spot start there. Keep an eye out for starting lineups, but even if he doesn't, he should see 20 minutes in this one. Absolutely smashed his price tag, and he's been popping in the model throughout the day.
Popping in the model. We love to see it. Gary, can you bring up DK? Gary, we're trying something new today. We need to make this a little bit quicker, and we apologize. Hopefully you can have DK up while we're going through it. DK hating on the ball sack love. He's almost 8K now. Jeez.
Yeah, it's getting kind of ridiculous there. So until we see that steady performance, it's going to be tough for me to play 8K LaMelo Ball.
Absolutely. Zeller or Gafford. There we go.
No doubt.
Gary, don't apologize, man. You're good.
It's Fajita Friday. We're good.
Yeah, bro. Eat some fajitas. It's a good freaking day to be alive.
It's Fajita Friday.
One more 7 o'clock game to get ready for. We have Houston. We have Detroit. Houston Rockets on the road. Detroit Pistons are favored by 2.5 points. Jesus Christ. Talk to me, Ghost. I mean, this is a weird spot. Are we still on Depot? What are we doing?
I did not know they were favored
Right? That's
in this
weird.
game. That was not exactly what I saw this morning. So thank you for telling me that, because I'm going to go sprint, Usain Bolt sprint to go take Houston money line on that one. Hopefully I didn't just jinx myself, but Detroit absolutely blows. So this is a smash spot for any single one of these Houston guys. This is a double center lineup. I'll come out there and say right away, for those of you on DraftKings, obviously on FanDuel, it blows because you only get to pick one center, but you can get both Daniel Gafford and Boogie Cousins in your lineup because Gafford is a power forward on FanDuel. So that's my strategy on both sides tonight, specifically on DraftKings when we're talking about double center. Boogie Cousins and Gafford will both be in my main lineup. Boogie filling in for Christian Wood, who's ruled out. FanDuel fantasy point per minute machine out there with Boogie. And you know what? This guy plays all offense. It's going to run through him and Depot. Depot, since coming over from Indiana, has a 40% usage rate. Like that is like, we're talking about Luka Doncic in the 37 range. Giannis, outside of the season, because it's kind of a weird season there for Giannis, but typically he's in that 35, 36 range. Steph Curry's typically in that 33, 34 range when Clay's out there and their team is full go. Depot's in the 40 plus range. Like we're getting into Harden without Westbrook type of usage. So very hard for me to get away from Oladipo. He's a focal point for all of your cash lineups, and he is in my main GBP lineup right now, sitting at a mere $8,000 on DraftKings.
Yeah, I mean, as you've been saying this whole time, they got him. He's on an expiring deal. They're literally just trying to get him out. So, hey, you do well, we ship you away, we get picks. You do well, you get a giant contract. Everybody's in on this.
That's it. Everyone wins. So it's beneficial to everybody
to see it. Love to see it.
Things you love to see.
Let's go back to the chat for a second. Thuggin, Gafford the best value? Sounds like it.
Yeah, but Boogie just absolutely broke the model today. So he's by far the best value. But when we're talking about that 35 and 100 below range, like we're talking the real punts on DraftKings, yes, Gafford is ranking number one right now.
Love it. And here's a lineup. FanDuel Cash from Alex. What's up, Alex? Irving, Doncic, Harden, Jesus Christ, Powell, Barrett, Tate, Roby, Gafford, Boogie. Wow.
Lock it in.
That sounds fantastic. Great stuff.
Very similar.
Little information.
Season. I've been waiting. I've been waiting for that news. I didn't think Lowry was gonna play in this game. There's a lot of good value on that Toronto side now.
Can we bet the Raptors now or no? I'm kidding. I'm not gonna ask you that question. I take it back. Back to the chat. DK, Joker, and Boogie. 100%.
It's just forward is so bad today that I find myself paying up for forward. But if you could find the right value plays, yeah, Joker's gonna probably come in. I'd be shocked if he came in 5% on. So I can always get behind a 5% on Joker. That's 100% sure. So yeah, you could go Joker and Boogie.
Another great one: Irving, Harden, Tate, Olynyk, Cousins, Oladipo, Powell, Gafford, DK, GPP. And that sounds great.
Yeah, Olynyk's one of those guys kind of in no man's land for me in that like 5K range ish on DraftKings. So especially with Bam back, he takes a bit of a hit, but they're gonna play small tonight, so it can work. Just duplicate that lineup, swap out Olynyk if you can.
Love it. And Terrence Davis value?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Raptors. I love to talk about the Raptors. So yeah, absolutely.
Talking about the Raptors. All right. So those are 3 7:00 games. So if you're only playing a couple guys from those games, don't worry. It gives you a little bit of time to then hop and breathe for a second, because then we have the 7:30 games. First one we have are the Celtics and the Sixers. Sixers are favored by 4.5 at home. Over under sits at 221. Joel Embiid loves to beat up on the sisters. Whoa, that little Freudian slip there, Mike. Yeah, he loves beating up on them. How do you feel about that?
I love it. We said it the other day. And anytime you have a sub 10K Joel Embiid, I'm interested, especially going up against the likes of Daniel Tice and Tristan Thompson and Robert Williams. I'm not getting there tonight just because you can only play 2 centers on DraftKings, and I'm so locked in on Boogie and Gafford that Embiid unfortunately doesn't make my main lineup. But similarly to what Brian posted earlier when he was like, "Hey, can I go Joker and Boogie?" Yeah, absolutely. If you want to get different tonight, barely anyone's going to play Embiid, so it's a real smash spot for him. I'm not playing anybody from this game personally, but if you are, you're going right to the top with Joel Embiid.
Love it. How do you feel about Burke and Brunson? We'll get to that game in a little bit. Which tier 1 player do you guys think not worth playing? I don't really play the tiers, so I'm not 100% sure.
I don't play tiers, but let me pull it up for you. Give me a sec while we go to the next question. There gives me time.
Love it. Okay. We'll get to the Raptors in a second, but Siakam and Van Vliet with Lowry out, or are you more normal?
Siakam also might not play, so keep an eye on that.
Yeah, he's day to day. He's in my season long team, and it has not been working out that well.
He might not play in that one. So
yikes. We'll get to that in a second. Here's a little lineup from our friend Brian: Kyrie, Depot, Josh Jackson, Jeff Green, Gafford, Jamal Murray, Glenn 3, Joker, or Kyrie, Devontae Green, Josh Jackson, James Johnson, love it, Boogie Harden, Glenn 3, Joker.
I like the second one better.
There you go.
Because you have Kyrie and Harden in there. The only thing, again, like, remember when I was saying Joker Boogie when you're not sliding in Gafford there? Gafford's the exact same price as Glenn Robinson III. So that's where it's like you can't play Gafford at the forward position, where I see that you have Glenn Robinson III because he's only center eligible. But that's a good example where other people might have the edge on you there.
Love it. All right. Did you figure out tiers?
Yes, I have it open right now. So tier 1.
Which player is not worth playing?
I would just lock in Harden or Jokic. I would not play Doncic or Kawhi.
Love it.
If you're entering multiple lineups, get some Doncic in there. Kawhi would be the odd man out. Like if you're running 3 lineups, you could do, I guess you could do one of each. Personally, I would do 2 Harden and 1 Joker. But yeah, if you're doing 4 lineups with tiers tonight, and tier 1 specifically, I would go 2 Harden, 1 Luka, 1 Joker.
Love it. A little more information. Your boy, Tyler.
Yeah, he's hungover. He's hungover. Come on.
Yeah, he's busy.
He's turned 21.
Hey, shout out. All right, let's move on to the next game. This one's going to be an interesting one. We have the Brooklyn Nets. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers. Nets are favored by 6.5 on the road. We told you guys I had the Cavs plus 10.5 last time. It kind of scared me when they went to overtime. I was just like, motherfucker, just like end this game so I can win my chest, man. Let me win this goddamn bet. It ended up being pretty easy. Obviously, the Cavs win. That was with the 3 of them. Now, after Durant plays 50 minutes, surprise, he is now going to be sitting out. Obviously, we know he's coming off that Achilles injury. That opens everything up. Kyrie, I think, is only 9K on DraftKings. James Harden is only 10 change. I took the over on both their PRAs that came out. James Harden was 43.5 pop. Kyrie Irving 37.5 pop. Yeah, obviously going to take both of those. That was nice and easy. And I also have Brooklyn minus 6.5. I think they're going to get back on it. How are you feeling about this game, Ghost?
I'm locking in Kyrie tonight. He is in my main lineup, and he's gonna, no matter how many lineups I end up running, he'll be in all of them. We want to talk about a revenge narrative. Obviously, Kyrie going back to Cleveland, but how about Colin Sexton taking his number, putting it on his back, putting his shoes on his feet, dropping 42 in his face?
Oof.
You're gonna get a mad Kyrie.
I love it.
And then from a more analytical standpoint, obviously we love to base things on the revenge narratives and the birthdays and whatnot. But when we're talking about some actual quantifiable data there, Kyrie led the big their big 3 in usage, just under 31% there. So KD saw 28%. Harden was closer to 24-25. So now with KD out, Harden's going to see a big uptick, obviously. If you're able to fit both of them in tonight, I absolutely love that strategy, playing both Kyrie and James Harden, possibly running it back with Colin Sexton. But now, again, you might find yourself chasing that ceiling game that he had the other day, so don't expect another 42, 6-6 performance from Colin Sexton. But this guy's a pure scorer, and this is the perfect game environment for him. So,
dude, that block he had on Kevin Durant was awesome. I was watching the game because I'm here in New York, so I just get it, and it's nice and easy. And you kind of see him like not like lollygagging, but trying to like line it up. And then he just gives like 2 steps, and I was like, holy fuck, he just went like 15 feet in 2 steps, smacks the ball out of his hand, catches it, that was awesome. Straight up.
It was absolutely nuts. Right, like that was a game that I don't know if it was because, he had missed 5 or 6 in a row, and he just came out with a chip on his shoulder and was like, yo, this is my team kind of thing. And he kind of let everybody know that. But that was one of the best ball games I've ever seen him play. I watched a lot of Cleveland games. That's probably the best Colin Sexton game I've ever watched.
It was awesome.
So I'm really curious for round 2 tonight, see where that's at. Darius Garland looking like he's back in the lineup tonight. That Drummond Allen combo, we spoke about it.
Ask about that. Yep.
Yeah, so we spoke about it in the last show, and I said Drummond should be good for 30 minutes. He ended up touching 28, didn't play the large part of the fourth quarter or the overtimes there, and even today he's coming in roughly at 26 minutes. So I'm curious to see if they run Jared Allen a bit more out there, but when Drummond's out there, he's a force. And sitting at 8,600 on FanDuel with 99% of the field probably playing Boogie Cousins at like 4,200 on FanDuel tonight, or 4,400, 4,500, whatever he is, it's a pretty good spot to get Andre Drummond at $8,600. So if you're getting spicy, you're running a ton of lineups, just make one. You never hurt with one. A little sauce with Andre Drummond at 8,600, because If you get him on the night where he's 1% owned and he plays 35 minutes,
he goes 20 and 20.
Look out, because you saw what he did. Yep. 32 and 26 or something. Like this is not 2K stats. These are real Andre Drummond stat lines. So 32 and 26, kind of hard to pass that up at 1% ownership over on FanDuel. So at only 8,600, if he was 10K, forget about it. I wouldn't play him today, but at 8,600, man, it's really enticing. And this is another guy that they, if Cleveland sees that they're on the outside looking in, they're going to flip him for a first. A team like the Warriors can definitely use some inside help. So they're going to want to flip him for a first. So I don't know. It's always dicey playing this combo. We talked about it last show. Jared Allen's another good play. Little expensive over on FanDuel at 7K, considering he's still coming off the bench. I'm not getting there on FanDuel, but Andre Drummond's really enticing tonight.
I love it. Back to the chat. Appreciate it. Siakam is in. You'll love to see it. Unfortunately, can't get 3 centers.
Yeah, yes, that's the issue. So that's why I'm not paying up for Joker, Embiid, all these guys, because I locked in Boogie and Gafford.
Waiting for Ghost to play the baby MVP OG Canada. What's up? Here we go. Got a lineup. New lineup with switches. Irving, Harden, Eric Gordon, Jeff Green, Cousins, Oladipo, Powell, Gafford.
That's run it.
I wonder what Ghost was going to say there, guys. You should probably pay attention to that. Making 4 lineups tonight. I can't say that. MEDA? Is it just MEDA? I don't know. Make one with Sackmeister Ballsack. Okay. James Harden, OG, James Johnson, Gafford, Kyrie, Powell, Boogie. Sounds about right.
I love it.
And we got Drummond gonna get traded. I hope the Mavs can make that happen.
That's a very Mark Cuban move.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to acquire Andre Drummond. Yeah, you got Drummond and Porzingis. Good luck getting a single rebound against the Mavs when you have Jordan Porzingis, and then on top of that, you have a rebounding guard in Luka Doncic.
That's going to be fun. Don't want to pay for Harden. Can I run Kyrie and FVV instead?
Yeah, for sure.
Love it.
Yeah. I'd rather turn to the Toronto value now that it's open.
100%. Let's see. It looks like actually the numbers for the Heat and Raptors were taken off the board. So I guess that's the one we can go to next. I don't know what looks like 1.5 to the Raptors. And as we already said, Kyle Lowry is going to be out. Siakam is in. So Raptors favored by 1.5, kind of at home. Ghost, where is the value on this one?
First thing I want to say is that if the Raptors are favored, I'm taking Heat money line. Sorry,
not doing this again.
I'm a terrible fan. Anyways, you can go to Norman Powell. You could go to Terrence Davis. So now I love being able to talk to Raptors because I love knowing their rotation inside out. So now that Lowry's out, you're going to see Fred out there. Likely see Norman Powell slot in with Siakam, OG, and Aaron Baines for like 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So don't read too much into that. Then Terrence Davis is likely going to be the first man off the bench now. So that becomes a really nice play. And whoever's coming off the bench first between Terrence Davis and Norm, if for some reason Terrence Davis gets the start over Norm, I'm going to be off of him. But if Norm is starting, there's nobody coming off that bench that could score other than Terrence Davis. So I really do like him. He's very close to minimum salary over on DraftKings. Unfortunately, we have a plethora of guards that you can select tonight. So you're going to have to run a 3 max contest where you end up entering all 3 good to go. You don't need to enter 3 lines into 150 max to try and win 100 grand. Play it smart, play your odds. You play a 3 max, you run exactly 3 lineups. Terrence Davis would definitely be in one of them for me if he's coming off the bench. Him and Chris Boucher should absolutely eat in this matchup. So I'm hoping Chris Boucher can get a big going against Bam. Definitely looked out of his element there a little bit going up against a potential defensive player of the year candidate in Bam Adebayo. So I'm expecting bigger things from Chris Boucher in this matchup. And of course, OG. Brian mentioned it. I could tell that he read my article. Just the model of consistency for these Raptors. I mean, we're talking about their defensive struggles in the paint, talking about inconsistent performances from Lowry and Van Vliet. Their 3-point shooting is off some nights. OG's quietly been that guy that, you know what, only a 15% usage rate. You would say, why would you play this guy? Still dropping 14 a game, 2 steals a game. Bro, put some respect on this man's name for what he does on the wing out there for the Raptors and just his defensive game in general. He's long. He's a guy that can attack the rim when he wants to, and he could shoot a 3-ball. So when we're talking about a guy that in that 6K range, is he overpriced? I would like him to be in that 5.5, maybe even 5K range, but it's DFS. It's not always an ideal world. We're going to have people scratched after lock. That's just the way that it is. We have guys that are overpriced sometimes. I feel like he's right in that zone where barely anybody's going to play him. And when we're talking about DraftKings, where the forward position absolutely blows tonight, both him and Kevin Huerter are guys, before I get into Kevin Huerter too much there before the Atlanta game, those are two guys that I'm really looking at 5,900 on DraftKings tonight.
You mean 9,500, right?
Kevin Huerter. Anytime you get Kevin Huerter under 10.5, it's a steal.
It's a steal. Apparently, Dallas Sports Talk Radio just talking about taking Drummond. I do like that. Tyler back. Norm is projected to start.
That would be the ideal move. That Norm starts and Terrence Davis comes off the bench. That would be very Nick Nurse.
Kyrie, Harden, Osman. He had a great game the other night. Porzingis, Boogie, Terrence Davis, Norm Powell, and Gafford.
The one thing about Osman, I'm not chasing that game. That he shot lights out from the field. Great. So that was a thing where it's like, you know what, that the process over the result in that one. I'm out on Osman tonight. I'll let other people chase the game log there. Especially Sexton's gonna go nuts again. Garland's back.
Yeah, Garland's back.
Drummond's in. Allen's gonna get touches. Taurean Prince looked absolutely. That's one guy I forgot to mention on Cleveland. He was getting solid run, man. He was and he looked good. So there's a lot of bodies out there. I'd rather just stick to their main contributors on a nightly basis.
Look at that. Win Daily Sports in the chat. Flannel and Expos hat backwards. Is this a replay? Never is it ever. But everybody, as you can see, Win Daily Sports, make sure to go subscribe to that channel. I'll leave it up on the up there for a second as we move on to some of these 8 o'clock games. We have the Hawks. We have the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are dogs. They are 6-point underdogs at home. Over-under sits at 225. We saw this game, or we saw the Hawks crush it the other day. They were absolutely fantastic. Talk to me about this one, and why should we play Kevin Huerter at 9,500?
One of my favorite games to attack is this one. You got two fast-paced teams, two teams that don't play D, and you got a lot of stars in this one.
Let's go.
I'm going right back to Trae and Capella, wherever I can fit Capella in secondary lineups, because obviously I'm going Boogie.
You did say Capella over 29.5 PRA first half, and that hit. And I didn't get to take it because I tried to parlay it. That's a whole nother conversation. But goddamn,
15.
Pretty impressive. Pretty damn impressive.
I appreciate it. Wherever I can get Clint Capella, I'm gonna try. This is a day where I wish I could play like 5 centers on DraftKings. So like this is what I was saying the other day, where sometimes small forward blows, sometimes power forward blows. Center is always that one position, especially on FanDuel. You got to pick the right one, especially if there's only one. It's like you can't get away from a mediocre performance from a Chetty Osman, because you have Kevin Durant as your second small forward. It's like you got one center, one bullet in the chamber, and it's like it's very hard for me to get away from Boogie tonight. But I'm gonna have some Capella. I'm gonna have some Drummond, of course. This guy's just been going nuts, and Towns is still out. Nas Reed in the paint. Hats off to you, bro. Good luck. I wish you all the best tonight for 48 minutes, because you're gonna need it. This guy's just been a force. Trae Young running pick and roll with Clint Capella. I could watch that for 48 minutes straight. So I'm loading up with Trae and Capella in some secondary lineups, because unfortunately they don't make my main with other priorities that I have. Especially with Kyrie only being 9K. That's just a joke. But these are all guys we're talking about 5% owned Trae Young. That's scary. You're gonna want a piece of that.
You'll love to see it. Going back to Marcus's question before, switch Barrett or Osman.
Oh yeah. But Tibbs gonna Tibbs.
He's gonna play like 47 of 48 minutes.
Yeah. So I wrote that like 3 times in my article. I wrote up Randall and twice. I didn't write up Mitchell Robinson today. I wrote up Barrett and I wrote up Julius Randle. Tibbs gonna Tibbs mean that Tom Thibodeau is gonna be Tom Thibodeau. This guy will play his starters. They were up by 12 last night. A minute 48 in the game, he checks in his starters.
Love it. Put him into the ground, baby. Put him into the ground.
Let's see it. RJ Barrett, 37 minutes a game.
He's 19. Fuck it, man. I'm not worried about him. Canadians, Knicks fans, Duke fans, let's go. You'll love to see it. Yeah, we're all shaking hands. Where's Ashley? Ashley was on the show last night. We didn't do DFS. We just kind of spoke about the games. It was a blast. Right. She's super knowledgeable. Make sure to go follow her at Ash Nicole Moss. Hopefully I got that right. All right, let's go. We got a couple more. FanDuel, GPP, Kyrie, Dragic, Harden, Oli, Jackson, Kawhi, Gafford, Green, Boogie.
Love it.
I
love the Dragic play as your PG2 tonight on FanDuel.
OG or Herder for cash?
Herder all the way. Yeah, I kind of went on a tangent about Trae and Capella there so much that I didn't mention all these other guys. But Kevin Herder's in a good spot again. Now that he's not, $36,000 on DraftKings. That's always fun to get $5,900 Kevin Huerter. Spot up shooter. It's exactly what you need on DraftKings for GBPs. It's a good spot for him. And on the other side, not getting too cute with it. D'Angelo Russell's in a great spot. Last game that they played Atlanta without Karl Anthony Towns on top of that, 36% usage rate. This guy just chucking bombs from behind the arc. So that's exactly what you need. You need D'Lo shooting the ball. You need him running point as much as possible. And they kind of offset him where when Trey came off, he would actually go on sometimes to be able to reduce that deficit. So D'Lo on Goodwin or Rondo or any of these other backup guys, you'll love to see it.
You'll love to see it. Fred VanVleet or Oladipo for cash?
Oladipo all the way. I'd be shocked if he's under 80% owned in cash tonight.
Wow. Do you know what Herter was owned on the last slate? Just out of curiosity.
I didn't even check. I was checking, like, but you have to go individually through each lineup, right? Like you can't really see exposures just like that for a contest. I must have checked, I kid you not, like over 250 lineups. I couldn't find him in one.
Love it.
And I checked like at the top, I checked at the middle, I checked at the bottom. Like I didn't just check because obviously he's not going to be in the top 250 lineups. So I was checking all over the place. I must have checked at least 250 lineups. I couldn't even find him. So
that is too funny. Moving on, we have the Mavericks. We have the Spurs. Mavs are 2-point favorites on the road. Over under sits at 223, which is actually kind of nice for this slate. It's one of the higher ones, surprisingly. Luka, KP, there's a bunch of players in this game. How do you feel about this one?
Playing KP and that's it. Good value in Trey Burke and Jalen Brunson as well. It's just sometimes like I'm gonna do a video how to use the model as well. I promised everybody that, so I'm a man of my word. I'm definitely gonna stick to that and be able to get it up on the site as soon as possible. But when we're talking about these value plays and that question comes out, is this a good value play? If it's popping in the model, I trust it. I'm gonna ride it out and I will have at least some exposure to it. But like anything else in life, there's always something better out there. So like for me, it's like, do I prioritize Jalen Brunson and Trey Burke over Gafford over some of these other guys? To me, the answer is no tonight, especially in a slower paced game against the Spurs. Average age of that team is like 90 outside of DeJounte Murray. So like, I'm a big DeJounte Murray fan. I own him in my keeper basketball league and in my season long league. Absolutely love DeJounte Murray. This is just a fade spot for me outside of KP. The only reason why I'm playing KP, he's still underpriced. He's priced as if he's still coming back from injury when he's not. This guy's already playing 33 minutes on a back-to-back. So KP against LaMarcus Aldridge, come on now. Like this is something that you got to take advantage of. Only $8,100 on DraftKings, and forward absolutely blows tonight. You got KP is a guy that I'm interested in. The rest I'm out. People might call me crazy for not playing Luka Doncic. On any slate, this guy's in play. Just tonight, again, similarly with the value plays, is Luka Doncic a good play? If you're breathing, Luka Doncic is a good play. That's just the kind of player that he is. But you have Kyrie that's $2,000 cheaper. It's tough for me to get there.
All right, moving on to the next game. We have the New York Knicks. We have the Sacramento Kings. So we talked a little bit about the Knicks. Knicks are now on the back end of a back-to-back. Kings are favored by 4 points at home, which just seems like a little too much to me. How are you feeling about this one? We know the starters are going to play for the Knicks, and we know that the Kings are going to want to move fast. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, the Knicks defense has been really stout lately too. So I got some questions about, why is De'Aaron Fox lower than what he's supposed to be? And these are exactly the kind of things that the model takes into consideration, right? Without getting into too much detail about what it does. But that's another thing where I'm staying away from the Sacramento side. Their defense has been pretty stout, and the Knicks have won games plenty of times before, not just once or twice. They won some games this season where it was 90-82. So outside of Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, I have no exposure to this game whatsoever. If you want to get really cute with a GPP play, I would take a shot on Emmanuel quickly, only if Alec Burks is out. He just came off a serious injury. It's a back-to-back. But Tibbs gonna Tibbs, man. Like it quickly doesn't start. I'm not interested in a Knicks guy off the bench. That's the main issue here. That Tibbs gonna Tibbs. He's gonna play them 47 minutes and 59 seconds, and that's just the way that it does. Julius Randle won't leave the court.
Julius Randle, he's gonna log 40 minets. Him and RJ Barrett, even coming off that game, they're gonna log 40 minutes.
I even saw an article today saying Julius Randle is not an all-star.
Well, that's silly.
That's like what?
That's clickbait. Fuck those guys. Let me just say that right now.
Julius Randle, guys, unreal. He's by far the best Knick of the season right now.
Oh,
he and RJ Barrett are playing unreal.
Hands down. We got 2 more games we got to get to, and then we'll be answering a couple more questions. We're gonna get off a little early. We have the Thunder playing against the Clippers. Clippers at home. Clippers favored by 13 points. That's a lot of points. Are you trying to touch this game? Over under sits at 220, which is solid. How do you feel about it? I'm
not touching this one with a 10-foot pole. Isaiah Roby's getting the start again. likely without Al Horford out there, but his price has caught up to him rather quickly. FanDuel just doesn't move prices apparently. I think they do it on like a bi-weekly basis. So you could pretty much play him over there. But on DraftKings, they quickly reacted there, got him up to 5K. I'm not chasing a potential 36 game from Isaiah Roby, that's for sure. Outside of that, Kawhi and PG, this is a smash spot for them, but they might play 28 minutes and get off the court because they could win this game by 20 without them.
Yeah, it would be pretty easy. So that's something to pay attention to. Last game of the night before we get back to the chat. Nuggets, Suns. Suns favored by 1 point at home. I had the Suns minus 5.5 the other night. Woke up to a 6-point win. Cashed that ticket. It's not a bad day. Ghostman, how are you feeling about this one?
I like Joker in this spot, but again, Boogie and Gafford. Really hard for me to get away from that duo. Every single lineup that I try making, I'm like, oh, let me make a new lineup. It's the first two clicks. Like the utility is always the last spot that I put in for obvious reasons. And it's like, I can't get away from that. I start my lineup with a center and I start my lineup with a utility. If that's not 2021 NBA DFS, I don't really know what is. It's tough for me to say don't play Joker. So I'm always going to be interested in playing Joker. This guy has a 70+ point ceiling on any given night. He's going to absolutely body DeAndre Ayton all night long, whether it's outside the arc, whether it's in the post. This is going to be a joke for Joker. MPJ is back. I wish his price was down. The moment I saw that he was in, I've never opened my phone so fast to go and check how much MPJ was, but 6,800 on DraftKings, it's steep, man. Like I don't know. It's very tough to be able to gauge the amount of minutes that this guy's playing right now. He's projected for 25 in the mall. So 25 minutes of MPJ just doesn't get there for me, at least not that ceiling game. I'm going to wait this one out, but I would love to be able to play Michael Porter Jr. in this matchup on the wing there. Outside of that, staying away from Jamal Murray, staying away from Chris Paul. Devin Booker is on his Kendall Jenner shit, like what someone put in the chat yesterday. Absolutely love that comment. So outside of Joker, very little exposure to this game.
I love it. All right, couple.
No marteau de soir tonight, unfortunately. It all happened. You'll know exactly where you stand before you go to bed. It's the best thing. Brian told me that. I was like, should we just stack early games to know exactly what happens when we go to bed? And he's like, bro, it's the best thing.
Yeah, well, he goes to sleep at like 9.
It's a little bit. He's like, bro, you check the game, you check your app, you're winning like so, and then you always go to bed happy. And then when you wake up, can't be mad because you were saying, oh,
I don't know. If you go from winning like 10 grand to $100, like
no, but you never go down that much.
You never go
down that much. Not if you stack the right games.
That's true. A couple more questions here before we hop off. FanDuel GPP, Kyrie, Dragic, Harden, Depot, Gordon, Grant, Gafford, Green, Boogie.
Wow. Out of point, Mikey.
Let's go, Mikey. Love it.
Mike, man. This guy's in our Discord chat every day trying to get better.
That's what we do.
And he's been smashing lately. So
WinDailySports.com/chat, as Rocker likes to say. That's what we're here to do. We're here to help you win money. KP lineup: Lemon Pepper, Lou, Harden, Glenn 3, KP, Gafford, Lamb, Buddy. Lord help me, I'm playing Buddy Hield and Joker.
Playing two Sacramento guys, I'm not really taking that route. But I also haven't checked the model while I'm on air, obviously. So if Glenn Robinson III is popping, then go for it. If not, man, I don't know, but I'm trying to see how we could switch this one up a little bit. I like the Jeremy Lamb tonight. I like that play. Buddy Hield, man. I don't know. I can't get behind it tonight. I can't.
Well,
I can't.
Model loves
there you
Buddy.
go. So you tell me, like if it loves it, it loves it. Then go for it.
We are here for it.
I can't keep up while I'm on air. It's every 5 minutes.
It's incredible. That thing's incredible. It has a mind of its own. Pretty soon it's gonna just take over. We're here for it. If it helps us win money. Marcus Morris value option if Batum is out.
Yeah, especially in a game like this. This is where the Marcus Morrises, the Luke Kennards, this is where these guys can get some extra runs. So I never like making lineups based on blowouts, but it's OKC, man. Like
they're bad. They're bad on purpose too. So
they're bad. Like Sam Presti knows they're bad
on purpose. Well, they were supposed to be bad last year. It's like, wait a second, we're kind of good. Let's actually take.
Let's make a push.
Flip them. Yeah, they should have won that game against Houston too. That would have been so incredible. KP or Sabonis on FanDuel, $900 difference is the next column. Sabonis is a walking almost triple double.
Yeah. Oh man. Check the model. Point per dollar, it's going to say KP, so you'd have to see. Like, don't just leave the $900 on the table. Raw points, I'll take Sabonis. Point per dollar, I'll take Porzingis.
Love it. And Discord driving you guys nuts. Love you too, Mikey. Love you too. That's what we're here for. All right. Last comment that I see. If anybody else has questions, get them in quick because we're hopping off in a minute. Monkey Night Fight. James Harden over 28.5. Check. Trey over 27.5. Check. Luka over 27.5. Check. Irving over 27.5. Check. Levine under 27.5. Huh?
Go on.
Okay. Embiid over 26.5, D'Lo under 25.5, and Grant over 25.5.
Run it again. Levine and D'Lo over. Just take 8 overs. They're both in great spots.
Let's go. We're here for the overs, Brian. Don't worry, Mike. I'm in Discord. Yes. You are awesome in Discord too. I love when Brian posts things about the Eagles because they just react to every single one with a laughing face because it always makes me hilarious. Hey, no, thank you. Thanks for the knowledge. Hell yeah, man. This is literally what we're here for. So, Ghostman, where can everyone find you on the internet?
At DFS_Ghost over on Twitter, and of course with the Win Daily Discord chat. Today we'll actually, since we didn't pull up DraftKings, we'll do a core 4. If the people would like that, we'll do a core 4.
Kyrie, Harden. I'll get the first 2 out of the way. Who else do you like? Sorry, took them. They're mine. Yeah,
I'm not gonna say
Gafford.
I'll give you one of Boogie or Gafford, probably both, and then a little core 5 edition. I guess it's Fajita Friday, so 5 Fajita Friday. Is that Fajita 5 Friday? It's one of those things. Debo goes bonkers tonight.
Yeah, with 1,000% usage. You'll love to see it. Just one quick last question. Best forward.
If you have the answer, please tell me because I made countless lineups switching these forwards because of how booty cheeks it is on DraftKings. But I have a lot of KP, OG, Kevin Huerter is small forward eligible, so that counts technically for your question. Norm Powell, nice value spot there as well. Who else did I have a lot of? Those were the guys that I consistently kept going back to. Julius Randle, if you could get all the way up there at 9,100. That would be those are the guys that I have a lot of.
Last one before we run: Irving, Dragic, Harden, Powell, Jay Brown, Jay Harris, Sabonis, Gafford, Boogie.
Yeah, roll it.
Love it. You can find me at Michael Brazil 1. You can follow us at Win Daily Sports. Thank you to everyone over here at HNB Media TV. We love and appreciate them. Thank you to everybody in the chat. It's my favorite part. For Ghostman, for myself, winsdailysports.com/chat. Make sure to hop into that bad boy as well. For Ghost, for myself, for the chat, for HNB Media TV, for everybody over here at Win Daily Sports, we thank you and hope you make it a very profitable Fajita Friday. Woo! See you, everybody.